You wanna know something that genuinely baffles me? Outcome memories. On paper, it seems like a great game. You have good graphics, good characters, good gameplay. Just outcome memories in reality, it isn't it. Like, it genuinely baffles me that this game gets, on average, 12 to 20k players daily. I'm not saying it's a bad game, it just has a lot of issues that really ruins the fun. Like, for example, the the hitboxes. Oh boy, the hitboxes. They are absolutely infuriatingly big. But why did Colossus on release have 15 stud hitboxes? He currently has 13. That is still incredibly big. But I'm not gonna yap about the hitboxes and all that. Well, this is gonna be yapping, but still. I'm just gonna let's just say a few quick things about why this game sucks. Of course, the hitboxes, and then the maps. The maps, they look great. They're very well designed, but well, not designed, just like visually good design. But gameplay designed, they are so bad. It is confusing on where to go. The maps are too big. They're cramped, most of them. And then the fog. I can't see 5 feet in front of me, let alone 5 inches. So how am I supposed to see this giant ass Colossus running at me at full sprint if I can't even see my own character? Okay. But visually wise, the game's great, but the actual gameplay, no. It's just not. Let's see here. Also, how broken overpowered do they want these characters? Because either they're incredibly strong, looking at you, Colossus, and Tripwire, let's be honest, and Tripwire. But no, it's not yap about the killers, let's also talk about the survivors. Silver on release, and still kind of, is really strong. Metal is still really strong. But I mean, with the recent killers and additions, he's not as annoying to deal with anymore. But my main pet peeve, I think if I'm using that right, is Tails. They took Sonic.exe Disaster Tails and made him even worse. Why does it take a whole damn century to shoot the arm cannon once? The Disaster Tails was already in a really, really bad spot, considered one of the weakest survivors. And they made him worse. And just genuinely unfun to play. Because you're sitting in a corner of the map where you can see a good portion of the map. Then pressing a single button, waiting the decade to fire, and then you finally let it fire. Cool, you get a single stun. Now wait another decade for it to charge. Just for it to cool down, so you can wait another decade to fire it again. That is if you're not getting chased now, because people really like targeting Tails. And then his glide, again on paper, seems really good, but every killer has their own way of countering this, so it's useless. But then also on top of that, you have Silver and Knuckles that have Tails' glide, but better as a passive. and Tails has it as an ability. So he has an ability slot being wasted for other characters that have it as a passive. You picking up what I'm putting down here? Okay, well, enough about that. Let me introduce to you 3 games I would play over Outcome Memories. First, let's talk about Disaster Eclipsed. If you're in the Roblox community, or well, just the EXE community in general, you definitely have heard of this. It currently has 2.1k players. It's just the original Disaster with their own additions. Nothing too special. Of course, the most current edition, I think, being Espio or Lord X. I don't know if Lord X came last or Espio did. I don't know. But they have their own additions to on top of the regular Disaster. It's the same loop, characters, all that. So if you're just looking for the Disaster experience, you can go play that. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Nothing really special. But then you have Sonic.exe Uneasy Reset. This is where things get interesting, because it is taking on top of Sonic.exe Disaster. It's not a copy and paste like Eclipsed is. It's their own game. They have their own styles of survivors and all that. They look really cool. I love their style. A few characters have voice lines. The maps look good. Just it has a issue that Outcome Memories has the same, are the hitboxes. The hitboxes are infuriating sometimes. But unlike Outcome Memories, their hitbox sizes aren't 15 studs. The hitboxes are client side. So for the killer, the hitboxes are perfectly fine. But for the survivor, it feels like you're getting hit from 20 studs, which is very infuriating. But apart from that, the gameplay loop is amazing. The characters are amazing. The character designs are amazing. The voice actors did a good job. Now, if you want to play this, you want to look for the stress test that is currently happening for the next update, because the base game, which currently has its Halloween update, it's kind of, I would say, unplayable, I guess. I played it a long time ago. I first played it a long time ago. It was not in a good state, and neither was really the Halloween edition, the Halloween update. But this update that they're making made it so much more fun. It's if the hitboxes weren't bad, I would very much say this could very easily compete with Outcome Memories. I'm giving it an 8. Now, my personal favorite that right now is kind of just like Eclipsed, but their own editions again. Disaster with their own editions. Is Sonic.exe Continued Disaster. Now, if you want the original Disaster experience plus some additions, this is the game. They made a lot of additions to characters and also added new characters. Like, Amy got a rework. Tails has his 1.4 editions. The arm cannon no longer has a delay. Tails is literally just my favorite. I'm no, number one Tails main right here, but anyways, I think they did silver where you work. I don't know if it was like this in the original Disaster, but Eggman and Metal have a synergy. Mecha Sonic is their newest survivor. You have Mephiles survivor. Sonic's a new survivor. And a killer that was taken out but is coming back is Rewrite. So what you've been seeing in the background this whole time is actually gameplay of the continued Disaster. So just saying, if you're interested in what's playing in the background, you're seeing Disaster. So yeah, take that into note. But personally, I have the most fun with this game. I can sit down and play this for a good hour or two. And I'm just saying this, I'm also saying this, the fact that I'm always alone. I don't really have anyone to play with. So, playing this solo is still fun. I'm just saying, if you have a chance, play it with friends. It genuinely enhances the experience. Okay, but ADHD is making me go off course. Let's see. Back to character. Alright, back to character. There is Furnace is a new killer. There's Exiolence, I think is how you say the name. I don't know. But let me just say this real quick. It is not staying as what it is. What you're seeing in the background is to be changed completely. They are doing a recode because they currently have the code of the Disaster Reborn. So it is fairly buggy, which is why they're doing a recode. But if you ignore the bugs and the obvious glitches, I mean, like, they fixed most of the obvious ones, but then you have some smaller ones that you can see still. If you ignore those, the gameplay's amazing. But how I'm going to end this video off is a few sneak peeks of what Continued Disaster is going to be, or what they're renaming it to be, to Cursed Reality. When I first saw this, it was called Disaster Plus. Then they changed it to a Continued Disaster when they couldn't search it up. Again, yeah. So let me get a few things to. Sorry, what you just heard. I didn't have this entirely prepared. So let me pause this real quick to get this ready. Please note, everything you see here is subject to change, all that, since it's in early development of the recode. But what you're going to see is a small gameplay of what they currently have playable. Of course, this isn't much, and there's a lot more that has been added since this round of footage.
Crush you! Crush you! I let you live long enough. I'll crush you! Crush you! Crush you! I'll crush you! Crush you! I'll crush you! crush you!